The idea for this book was prompted by my experience serving on the New York City Mayoral Advisory Commission on City Art, Monuments, and Markers in the fall of 2017. Formed in the wake of the protests over the Unite the Right white supremacist rally in Charlottesville, Virginia, that led to the removal of Confederate memorials in a number of states across the nation, the 19-member commission was charged with recommending best practices for addressing controversial monuments in New York City and applying them specifically to 4 local works: the plaque to Philippe Pétain in the Canyon of Heroes in Lower Manhattan, a statue to Dr. J. Marion Sims on Fifth Avenue at 103rd Street, an equestrian monument to Theodore Roosevelt in front of the American Museum of Natural History, AMNH, and the statue of Christopher Columbus in Columbus Circle. During our 3 in-person meetings, it became clear that many commission members were locked into a kind of either-or thinking, as in either Teddy Roosevelt was a good guy or a bad guy. When the subject of his equestrian monument came up, I recognized it as a fine work of art. So as the only art historian on the commission, I decided to do some initial research to share with the group in order to better understand its historical context. Subsequently, the AMNH hired me to expand that study for use in an exhibition about the controversy. This work enabled me to become more familiar with Theodore Roosevelt's policies, as well as the memorials dedicated to him. Roosevelt is one of the 4 presidents represented on Mount Rushmore. I had taught several graduate seminars on memorials that included discussions of memorials pertaining to the other 3: George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, and Abraham Lincoln. That experience merged with my participation on the Mayoral Commission and led me to focus on Mount Rushmore as a way of exploring the divisive, dead-end kind of either-or thinking that has become so prevalent and toxic in our culture. In the course of my research, it became clear to me that the controversies focused on Mount Rushmore and the other memorials dedicated to the 4 presidents were really about definitions of national identity and unity. I explored these ideas and benefited from feedback in response to several public presentations. In particular, a talk I gave at Fairfield University in 2020 on the subject of this book. I also had productive discussions as a panelist on Contested Legacies, Public Monuments in Global Perspective, Columbia University 2020, Best Practices in Setting Up Commissions, Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe, OSCE, The Hague 2019, Memorials Reconsidered, Controversies, Resolutions, and Strategies Moving Forward, the European Fine Art Foundation, TFAF, New York 2018, and Monuments, Memory and the Evolution of Meaning, City University of New York, CUNY, Graduate Center 2019.